wanted to stop by here to thank you for what you do too. And as your president said, in my home state of Maryland, about a little bit over 2 years ago, we experienced the death of a young boy named Diamante Driver. And I've often said that death is so final. And death can seem so very unfair. And to this young man, who was only 12 years old, to have a dental problem that would have cost $80 to repair, but then for that dental problem to then turn into a major problem, major infection, and to have spread to his brain, and for him to die at 12 years old was a tremendous tragedy. It was a tremendous tragedy in a country that is one of the most developed countries, if not the most in the world, one of the wealthiest states in the world, and one of the wealthiest counties in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we can do better. We as a nation can do better. We can do better. And this occurred because of a lot of failures. And as one who has been a senior member of the Government Reform Committee, and we investigate everything from steroids in baseball to the Clintons, to spending in Iraq, to the bailout money and how it's being spent. One of the saddest things that I've ever seen was this case. I don't know how many of you all have children or have grandchildren, but imagine at the thought of one of my children dying at 12 years old. I don't even know how I would bear it when the 13th birthday came up, when they died at 12. I don't know how I would bear it at Christmas time when everybody else was getting gifts. I don't know how I would bear it when I went to the high school, saw their friends graduating from high school, and they're gone. Why? Because of tooth decay and something that could have been resolved earlier. And so, why does it have such a ringing passion with me? Well, I could have been easily a Diamante Driver. My mother and father only had a second grade education, each one of them. They came from Manning, South Carolina. My father had plowed the land where his four parents had been slaves. And they came here in the 1940s because they had a vision. They wanted their children to have a better life than what they did. They did not want their children to have to be sharecroppers. And let me give a footnote. Let me give you a footnote with regard to America. Only in America could the son of former sharecroppers rise to be a Phi Beta Kappa and a member of the Congress of the United States of America. But what about Diamante? What about him? He could have done perhaps the same thing. And I am here to tell you that one of the reasons why you all are so important is because you remind people that there is a connection between these things in our mouth and the rest of our body. A lot of people don't understand that. And so, when I grew up, we had three things in the medicine cabinet. We had turpentine, we had cotton balls, toothpicks, and a fourth, Orajel. And in my neighborhood, it was accepted that you would have a toothache, that you would have toothaches. That was part of life. Everybody just, that was just like you get a headache. You knew you were going to have toothaches. You knew you were supposed to have holes in your teeth. And I know that may sound crazy to many of you because you're in the area of addressing dental care, but that's the way it was. And quiet as it kept, don't tell anybody, but that's the way it still is in many parts of our country. But we can do better. And so we started a crusade, and I'm so very pleased that Danielle Broad is here. Danielle is over here. Danielle became she took this cause along with me, and we fought very, very hard, and we were able to do a lot of things with people like you to make a big difference. And I have said it to Danielle before, and I'll say it again. I'm so glad that I had a friend who cared. Danielle is about to go on to some big and better things in the dental field. Isn't that interesting? You all stole Danielle from me out of it. But she's getting ready to do some greater things. But the fact is that that's what dedication will do. Danielle saw the problem. She was extremely sensitive to it. She joined hands with the son of former sharecroppers, and we together have accomplished a lot. And so, Danielle, I want to publicly thank you for all that you've done, and I want all of these folks to know that you are